Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a makeup update video. I have been trying a lot of new products throughout the past month and a half or so, I think it was, since I last did a video like this one, and I want to update you after trying each and every one of these products several times, combining them with different things, what I ultimately think about them, whether I'm using them a lot, whether they're becoming favorites of mine, and also whether or not I'm going to add them to my collection. So I'm going to go through everything in here, and I kind of like to lightly declutter as I go. Like if I don't like a product after trying it a few times, there's no point on adding it to my collection because it's just gonna sit there, right? I'd rather give it away as soon as possible. So as I go through these products, I'll tell you whether I'm adding it to the collection or whether I'm going to be giving it away. If you're excited for today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave, and let's go ahead and get started. I absolutely love the way that my makeup looks today. It came out so good in my opinion, and everything that is on my face right now is listed and linked down below in the description box. So if you have any questions about products on my face, please check out the links down below. And the first product I want to talk about is this right here. This is the new Armani blushes. They came out with a bunch of different colors, and I ended up getting the one in the shade Amore, which this is what it looks like right here. I actually quite like the formula of this foundation. I find it to be very pigmented, very silky. It blends easily, it doesn't apply too much right away, but you also don't have to like go back to build it up a lot. It has like the perfect amount of pigmentation in my opinion. I love the silky smooth formula. I love that it's a semi-matte finish. It doesn't dry you out, it doesn't dull your skin out, but it also doesn't have any shimmer in it. It doesn't give you a lot of glow that may enhance texture. It is quite the perfect blush in my opinion. However, I don't think this is the end-all be-all of blushes. I think it's very comparable to the Gucci blushes, which I also love. It's comparable to the Pat Mcgrath blushes, which are some of my favorites. So if you already have blushes like the Pat Mcgrath ones or the Gucci ones in your collection, this isn't something that you need to run out and get immediately, because it's not going to give you a lot more satisfaction than those two brands do. For example, Gucci and Pat Mcgrath blushes are some of my absolute favorites. I also really love the Hermes ones, and I think that these Armani formulas are comparable in formula to those blushes that are favorites of mine. So do I like it? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. But if you've already tried Pat Mcgrath blushes or Gucci blushes, I feel like this is kind of in the same category as far as blushes are concerned. I'm glad that I tried it and that I can give you this feedback. I will be adding this one to my collection, but I'm also glad that I didn't go out and buy like a whole bunch of different colors, because it's not that different from things that are in my collection already. Okay, so next let's talk about the Anastasia glosses, and this is an already existing formula from Anastasia, but she had launched maybe 5 to 6 shades before, which I had tried and loved here on my channel. So of course I love the expansion of the shades of the Anastasia glosses, and so I'm going to share with you my most favorite glosses and my least favorite glosses from the Anastasia line. Formulation wise, I quite like them all. I feel like they last nicely on the lips. They give the lips a really nice amount of glow, and they aren't overly sticky on the lips, but I do have favorites. So here are my most favorite colors. I of course love the clear one, because who doesn't love a clear gloss with an amazing formulation? So obviously this one I love. And by the way, I'm not keeping all of these. I'm going to tell you which ones are going to go to the giveaway pile as I go. I also love the one I'm wearing today, which is the guava one, which at first I wasn't sure about, but I love it with a lot of lip liner, if that makes sense. I love the lighter, milky kind of look of this one in the center of the lip, and how that blends nicely into a darker lip liner. In today's case, I'm wearing the Muted Mauve lip liner, also from Anastasia, with this guava gloss in the center, and I absolutely love this lip look. So guava is another one of my favorites. I also love Toffee Rose. Let me swatch them. A lot of my favorites have a very similar vibe. Sunbaked, Soft Pink. I'm going to add guava right here for reference. And I uploaded a video where I tried every single one of the Anastasia lip glosses. It's a short here on my channel. It's also on my Instagram account, so check it out if you haven't and you want to see all of these glosses swatched on the lips. The last one is Dusty Rose, and so these right here are my most favorite colors from this Anastasia lip gloss line, plus the clear one, which is just clear, so that's self-explanatory. So obviously I'm going to be keeping my favorites because I see myself using them all the time, but I'm also going to keep all of these colors right here because even though these are not like my go-to lip colors, I can see myself reaching for them if I ever need like a specific type of look. Like the other day I was wearing something very peachy on my eyes, and this lip gloss in coral was perfect for the look that I was wearing. So I see myself also being able to get some use out of these. I do want to add them to my collection. And then there's the ones that I just don't see myself using at all, and so these are going to go to a better home where they can feel a little bit more loved, and those are the metallic glosses. There's 3, I believe, or at least I have 3: Pink Ginger, Honey Kiss, and Goldie lip gloss. I'm just not a huge fan of metallic looking glosses, and so even though I love this formula, I know that I won't be reaching for these colors in particular that much, so I'm going to give these 3 away. Maybe I'm being greedy by keeping too many, but I truly just love this formula so much and I need to have them for makeup references. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. I'm storing them upside down so that I can see all of the different colors. Moving on, I have 2 new translucent powders from One Size Beauty that I tried recently, and I have been using the pink one a whole lot. This color, Sweet Honey, right here is more so a yellow powder, and I feel like this one is probably best for like medium or tan complexions. I think those complexions can benefit from brightening with this one, but this one is just a bit too dark for my complexion, so I'm going to be giving it away since I know that I have no use for this one. However, I will be absolutely keeping the pink one. I just love setting my face with pink powders. This is now, I think, my 3rd pink powder that I have in my collection, and they all work like a charm for me. They keep my under eyes looking super bright, and they honestly look really, really good on my complexion. I'm definitely very thankful that pink powder is now a thing because I needed it. I didn't know I needed it, but I needed it. So yes to the One Size Beauty pink powder, I love it. But what I loved most about what One Size Beauty sent me was the puff. The puff is a total game changer, and also the way you use the puff I think is a total game changer. So if you have not been able to make puffs work for you, take it from me, because for the longest time I was not being able to make puffs work for me, and I have very dry skin, so I always just assumed that because I have very dry skin, patting the makeup on my face with a puff was just going to make me look dry and cakey, and that things wouldn't work out for me with puffs, and that is so not true. So you have to take extra steps to make your puff work for you. I grab very little powder, and on the cap of the item I make sure that the powder is kind of evenly distributed on the section of the puff that I want to use, but then before I put it on my face, I tap off further excess of that powder on the back of my hand, work the powder even more evenly into the puff, and after every little bit of excess is on the back of my hand, I then go in with the puff and press the powder on my face, and it works like a charm. I have been having some really good makeup days, if I do say so myself, and it is truly because I've been puffing my powder on. I love it. So what I did today is I tried the puff with another one of my favorite powders, because I have been using it with the One Size Beauty powder since they arrived together. But I was thinking, I don't think the One Size Beauty powder is what I'm loving the most, because I've had the One Size Beauty powder before and I like it, but I didn't like it this much, right? It definitely is the puff that is making the difference. Today I used it with my Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, that one that has the pinky undertone, and you can see how beautiful and glowy my under eyes look. You can see that my concealer is like not creased at all, but also that nothing looks overly powdery, nothing looks overly dry, nothing looks cakey, and it truly is the step of patting the excess off on the back of your hand that I feel helps the most. So highly recommend a puff in general. The One Size Beauty puff has been working like an absolute dream for me. Also, not to take any credit away from this powder, this combination of products, amazing. I love the powder as well. But I'm here to tell you, I think I've become a puff person, okay? Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, obviously both of these are getting added to my collection. Okay, so next let's talk about this Pat McGrath highlighter balm duo right here. I tried this one in my recent Pat McGrath video where I was talking about their new collection, and I gotta say I quite like this double-ended thing right here. What I said in the video, and I'm kind of confirming in this one after having used it a few times, is that I love how this looks on my face. I absolutely love it. Even though it's a highlighter that has some shimmery sparkles in there, I like the look of it. I don't think it enhances my texture at all. Things look nice and natural and glamorous. It matches this eye look so good, by the way, now that I'm putting it on. So I like this double-ended highlighter from Pat McGrath. I think the color is beautiful. I think it is very flattering, very luxurious looking on the face. It feels heavy and luxurious on the hand as well. It definitely is a yes for me. But I would suggest that if you are going to wear this on your cheeks, you have your hair up, because it doesn't set. It's kind of this balmy textured type thing where if you constantly have hair hitting your face, the hair might stick to it. I think the hair will definitely stick to it because it has this texture that doesn't ever fully dry. And so I would recommend it, but I would recommend it in particular if you wear your hair up a lot, because if you wear your hair up a lot, you're going to be able to get a lot more use out of it than if your hair is on your face, because it does kind of stick to it, unfortunately. Personally, I really like it and I am adding it to my collection. So let's talk about the new Pat McGrath blushes next. I have continued to use both of the shades I got. I've used them over powder, under powder, on top of different foundations, and honestly, the formulation of these is good. They pretty much work every time. They're not super pigmented where I find myself having to use just a bit of them. On the contrary, I build them up on my cheek a lot, and I'm someone who like barely likes blush, so that tells you they are really not that pigmented. They honestly give you a very natural glowy finish to the cheek, so if that is what you look for in blushes, I think you would like them. However, I don't see these becoming favorites of mine. I feel like the blush market is overly saturated, and I don't see that these stand out to me that much. There's other cream blushes I much prefer to reach for over than this one. The formula is good, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's nothing outstanding. And so I don't know, kind of make your own decision with that. The packaging doesn't feel overly luxurious either, which would have given it a few extra points. So maybe I don't recommend these. I am adding them to my collection though, because I already spent my money on them. And I do see myself maybe getting some use out of them, especially now that it's summer and I want my makeup to be lightweight and glowy. However, they're not the end all be all of blushes, so I don't necessarily recommend them that much. But since I have them, I'm keeping them. I need to give you an update on the Tarte Radiant Concealer next. This is the concealer that I am wearing today right under my eyes, and I have to say I quite like the formula of this concealer. I feel like it's creamy, it feels hydrating, it doesn't feel super heavy underneath the eyes, it blends beautifully into anything that I've paired it with. And when I was setting my under eyes with very little powder and a brush, I could sometimes see it creasing a bit, but ever since I switched to puffing under my eyes with very, very little translucent setting powder, my under eyes have truly not been creasing nearly as much as per usual. See, like they look nice, right? And so I have been using it. I have been really, really liking it. I find that it is flattering underneath the eye. Is it the end all be all of concealer? Also no. It's not as lightweight as some of my other favorites like the Valentino one or the YSL. It is a bit more of a creamy formula, but I do find it very flattering underneath my eyes, and it does have a really good amount of coverage. So if you've been curious about it, if you've been thinking of trying it, by all means go for it because it is a good concealer. And so of course I am keeping this one. I'm not giving it away. It is being added to my collection. The other concealer I tried recently is the one from Natasha The Nona, which I pretty much feel the exact same way about as this one from Tarte. It's creamy, it's hydrating, it blends very easily. It creases even less than the Tarte Radiant one. It's a bit more flawless looking underneath the eyes. I like the finish of it a lot. I like the brightening effect that it gives my under eyes. And my favorite thing about this one is that Natasha truly went above and beyond when creating the colors for this concealer. There is so many concealer colors to choose from. She thought of every depth, every undertone, every color correction that we might need for the under eye area. You can truly find the concealer color of your dreams with this launch because there is so much to choose from. So huge props for her right there. If you're interested in buying this one from the Natasha The Nona website, you can get it with a 15% off using code PATTY15. So you can save some money on this one if you're interested. Let's talk a little bit of skincare next, and then we'll go back to the rest of the makeup I have to update you on. And the first thing I want to talk about is this right here. I left my last dose of this Elizabeth Arden serum in there for you to see it. Here's what the little ampules look like. You can twist off this little thing or cut it with a scissor, and then the perfect dosage of this serum comes to your hand. You put it on, and I have been loving it. I don't update you on skincare that often because I have to truly test and try a skincare product in order to recommend it. That is just like how I like to do things. And you really can't know about a skincare product by trying it once or twice. You have to see how it reacts with your skin and your skin type. With that said, I have rosacea, I have sensitive skin, I have some pores that I don't necessarily love, and I'm 31 and I'm trying to use as many anti-aging ingredients as possible while still keeping in mind that I have very sensitive skin and that a lot of things don't work for me. Anyways, this right here is from Elizabeth Arden, New York. It is their hyaluronic acid ceramide capsules, and it has a Hydra plumping serum in there. Here's the reason I got my hands on these. Remember last year when I went to California and I came back with like a huge bag full of things they had given us at this beauty event that we went to? This was in there, right? So for the longest time, it just kind of sat around my bins and stuff, and one day I needed a new serum, and so I picked this up. I know that ceramides are good for sensitive skin, that they're great at protecting your skin barrier, so I gave them a try, and the difference that this has made on my skin is visible. For the longest time I've been dealing with a lot of redness, and I feel like my redness has gotten so much better since I've been using this one. I think I filmed a video recently where my face was quite red, but I had just blow dried my hair without putting moisturizer on, which was stupid. So I like dried out my skin and it became red. But that is literally the only day my skin has been red in the past month or so since I've been using this right here. I have pictures. Here's what my face usually looked like after my nighttime routine at night. Nice, hydrated. I've been using, you know, skincare products for a while, but you can see that there's pink all around. Even my chin is a little bit pink. And then here's a picture I took the other day after I had been using this for over a month. Not every day because there's only 30 capsules in here, but skipping a few nights. For over a month I had been using this, and this is what my face looked like after my skincare routine. And I truly think that the difference in the level of redness, which you can see this is so much better, right? I truly think that the difference in the level of redness comes from these ceramide capsules right here, and also the fact that I'm not using a lot of products at night. I'm using 3 nighttime skincare products, and that is it. I'm about to tell you about another one of them. So after I wash my face, I do my serum, moisturizer, and eye cream, and that is it. I'm not exfoliating at night. I'm not doing any of that because I truly wanted to see how much better things could get, and I feel like they've gotten much better. Anyways, I'm not a skincare expert. I like to find out about skincare ingredients, and I like seeing what works for me or not. So obviously everything I'm telling you is just my own personal experience. I have still been using BHA serums, but I use them only daytime now and not every day, like every once in a while only. So I've been exfoliating a lot less, but my skin's been looking so much better. So obviously after I use my last dose of my Elizabeth Arden serum tonight, I think I'm going to place an order for more of these because I truly love them. Also, I was looking on their website, they're like award-winning serums. I'm like, I never knew about these. These are amazing. Anyways, the other nighttime product I have been using religiously that I also think probably has a lot to do with the difference in my skin and also the fact that I haven't had the need to exfoliate that often is this right here. This is the Caudalie Premier Cru Le Rich Cream. Look at how little I have left of mine. You can see I have been using the crap out of this one. I've been using this for longer than I've been using my serum. This has probably been used for close to 2 months now. When I first tried this, I absolutely love the texture of it, but I would put it on at night after using a BHA serum and my skin would burn. My whole face became red and hot, and I was like, wow, the anti-aging ingredients in that Caudalie cream must be very strong. It's probably not for me and my sensitive skin. Cut to me not using BHA serums at night anymore because this does have a lot of anti-aging ingredients. This has retinol and a lot of products that have been clinically proven to reduce the signs of aging. I think this came out of Harvard University. Anyways, I like the texture of this so much that I kind of kept it around. I didn't want to give up on it, if that makes sense. And so once I stopped using the BHA serums at night and once I incorporated these ceramide capsules into my routine right underneath it, it has never ever again made my sensitive skin red. So I was like, okay, the trick is to do the least amount of products possible, right? I'm going to just use my ceramide capsules that protect my skin, and I'm going to use my anti-aging cream at night. And I have been absolutely in love with the results that I'm getting from using these two at night. My skin looks plump, my pores I feel like look smaller. My skin has a lot less texture than usual overall, and it's because I've stopped getting the red bumps that I would get using my BHA serums at night. So I don't know, that was probably like a big mistake of mine. I don't know who told me to do that. Like I said, I still exfoliate every once in a while, but I have not been doing it at night with my anti-aging products. I've been doing it during the day and like once or twice a week max. Because this Caudalie cream right here has retinol, and retinol is not only anti-aging, it also kind of helps your skin regenerate faster, so I feel like I don't need to exfoliate that often. The third product I'm using at night I didn't even bring because I'm not as passionate about it, but it is also from Caudalie. I'm gonna put a picture right here, and it is the eye cream that is part of that same Premier Cru line. I like it, but I don't know that it's making that big of a change underneath my eyes. I know that it has the same anti-aging ingredients in there, so hopefully it's just keeping things youthful for longer. One last skincare product I want to briefly mention is this right here. This is the Paula's Choice Healthy Glow Invisible Sunscreen Oil. I have been really liking this one for daily use, or especially days where I'm not necessarily wearing makeup. It is a serum oil. It has SPF 30 and antioxidants. It gives my skin a ton of hydration. I like that it protects me from the sun. As you can see, it looks really nice and glowy on the back of my hand. And I have tried it underneath makeup and it works really well underneath my makeup. Whenever I do use it underneath my makeup, I try to combine it with a foundation that isn't as glowy, or I try to just make sure to do a bit of extra powder that day because this is an oil product, but it does work amazingly underneath any of the foundations that I've combined it with, and I've been using it a lot on days where I'm not wearing any makeup at all. This has been my go-to sunscreen ever since Paula's Choice sent it my way, and I absolutely love it. I've been using it for maybe 2 weeks now. It's nice. Back to the makeup, I tried a new eyeliner recently, and that is the Camu Camu eyeliner from Natasha The Nona. It is this really beautiful neon eyeliner shade that works fantastic in the waterline of the eyes. It of course came out with the Yucca palette or Yucca palette. I've heard people saying the right pronunciation is Yucca. It came out with the Yucca palette. Of course, it matches with every Yucca palette eye look you can possibly create. And it has Natasha's amazing eyeliner formula, which is pigmented and creamy, and it works amazing on the waterline of my eyes. So obviously I love it, I highly recommend it, and it is getting added to my collection right now. I must admit I have a love-hate relationship with lipsticks that have magnets in them. You know how nice it is for a lipstick to have a magnet closure so that it just gets to its right place when you close it, right? I love that about magnet closure lipsticks, but I hate about magnet closure lipsticks is that you can't put them together in a drawer because they start falling because they repel each other, and so that part to me is quite annoying. Anyways, the next product I'm going to talk about is these BK Beauty lipsticks right here. BK Beauty launched a shade extension of their lipsticks. They have this amazing creamy pigmented lipstick formulation that they've had for around a year now, and they just expanded their shades to include more bright fun colors. As you can see, there's some pink, some red, some orange, and then one more nude. Their initial lipstick launch consisted of a lot of nudie pink lipsticks, and so this is more colorful type lipsticks that you can now enjoy in their beautiful formula. If you love lipsticks that are pigmented, that are creamy, and that have a nice glow to them overall on the lips, I do highly recommend that you get your hands on these. Now, for some reason, I've been stuck in the lip liner with gloss on top lip look for the past year or so, and I can't get out of it, so I don't see myself getting a lot of use out of these right now. Maybe once I'm over this phase, I'll be able to enjoy some lipstick again. But lip liner and lip gloss, it's where it's at for me for the moment being. With that said, my favorite color from this new launch from them is definitely the nude shade Grace. This is now the nudest lipstick in their line because it's not pinky like the ones that they have previously released. In fact, see, like this looks really similar to what I'm wearing today. And their formulas are really, really nice. Anyways, I love the shade Grace, especially combined with some lip liner. And I overall do love the formula of the BK Beauty lipsticks. So I am adding all of these to my collection. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of use out of the very colorful ones, but I do plan on doing a big lip declutter soon because I want to go to Cuba this year to see my mom and my aunts and my cousins, and they're all girls, right? So I'm going to take a lot of things with me, hopefully, so that they can enjoy them over there makeup wise. I know that that will make them happy. So I'm keeping them all for now, but stay tuned for a big lip product decluttered because it's going to be cutthroat, okay? Another product I have yet to update you on is this right here, which is the Huda Beauty Lip and Cheek Stain. I got mine in the lightest shade I could find, I think, which was the shade Rosy Kiss. This is what it looks like right here. And I gotta say, I just don't think I'm the biggest fan of lip stains myself. I just don't love the overall look of them on the lips. As far as lip stains are concerned though, this is a good one. It dries immediately, it stays on the lips forever. So if you like lip stains, if you're a lip stain person, I think you're going to really like this. And the other thing is, it says that it's made for lips and cheeks. I don't like it for my cheeks at all because if you don't place it right immediately, you're not moving it, you're not blending it, it is staying in place, okay? So overall, I don't like this one and I don't recommend it. It just did not work for me in the way that I do my makeup. However, I am adding it to my collection just because I want to have it as kind of like a reference point. I'm thankful that I didn't purchase a bunch of shades, but because this is kind of a unique product category, I do want to have it for reference. However, I don't see myself using it that much. Next, let's talk about Safe Beauty and their Glow Sculpt blushes. I don't get the name. I don't know why they're called Sculpt. They're just either blushes or highlighters. So there's that. I do really like the formula of them. They're all very pigmented, they blend easily, and they have a beautiful glow that doesn't enhance your texture. So I do like them, but I gotta say I think I like them more as highlighters than I do as blushes. Take a look, for example, at Mauve Glow right here. As you can see, I used this one a couple of times, and look right there, you see those little balls? So those balls get picked up with a sponge and they don't blend super evenly on the skin unless you use a brush for them. Like the other day, I was using a sponge and I was going and then patting it on my face like that, and when I looked up close with the mirror, I could see those little balls that weren't breaking on my cheek, which I thought was a bit bizarre. However, it only happened with the shade Mauve Glow. It didn't happen with any of the other shades, so that is something to be aware of. With that said, I just don't like that level of glow for my blush. This one here is another one that I used, and it is called Peach Glow. It's a beautiful shade, and it kind of has a bit of like super fine gold shimmer milled in there. And so that is also not my favorite. Anyways, let me just jump to the one that I do like and recommend. And that is the shade Pink Glow right here. This one just makes for a very, very beautiful highlighter. And it doesn't have super sparkly bits in there. It doesn't enhance the texture of my cheeks, which was definitely the one thing that totally sold me on it. So if you're looking for a very beautiful cream highlighter that is not going to enhance your texture, I would recommend getting this Say Beauty Glow Sculpt in Pink Glow, because this is effectively a very, very beautiful highlighter. I don't know where to put it because I already put highlighter on over here earlier. But take a look right there. See, let me just blend it out a bit. It has a lot of sheen to it, but it doesn't enhance your texture. I like it. So Pink Glow is definitely my suggestion out of these. Also, if you have a darker complexion, the Quartz Glow is a golden tone one that would probably be very, very beautiful for tanned or dark complexion. So I like the highlighty ones. I don't love the blushy ones per se, and so that is kind of my update on these. So what am I adding to my collection? I'm going to add Pink Glow to my collection from Say Beauty, and then the rest of them I'm going to put in my giveaway pile. In one of my review videos, I talked about the What's Up Beauty brushes. They were kind enough to send this whole set of brushes my way, which I am very, very thankful for. And I got to test them out a few times and play with them, and I gotta say they're not my favorite. They are natural hair brushes, which I was very excited about, because usually natural hair to me means super soft, super high quality, but these I just don't think were it for me. I learned recently that some brush companies use Chinese goat hair, which is different from other goat hair. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But it turns out that Chinese goat hair is a bit thicker and a little bit scratchier when it comes to eyeshadow brushes. And so having realized that, for example, I think Morphe uses Chinese goat hair for a lot of their brushes, even though these are natural hair brushes, I think that these have the Chinese goat hair. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure, but they just don't feel like my rougher brushes do. These feel a little bit scratchier, not as soft. And so I honestly didn't love them, and I don't recommend them. I have quite the large eyeshadow brush collection, so I'm not going to be adding these brushes to my collection right here. These are going in the giveaway pile. I'm taking them to my family in Cuba. I know that they're going to be very, very happy with new eyeshadow brushes. These Sephora collection liquid shadows right here, I was so hyped for, because I had been told that they were the end-all be-all of liquid eyeshadows. I had been told that these are like a hidden gem at Sephora, that they are amazing, and I would say for $12 a piece, these are quite amazing liquid eyeshadows, but I don't think that they are the end-all be-all of liquid eyeshadows. And I've honestly used them 2 times. The first time trying them out, the second time forcing myself to use them along with some matte shadows to see if I would like it better that way, and they're okay, but I just don't see myself reaching for them that much. I'm going to keep Striking for reference, which is the lightest shade right here, and I'm going to put Lightning in my giveaway pile. If you're really into using liquid eyeshadows, if liquid eyeshadows are something that you like crave to reach for $12 they are worth it, okay, because they're not overly expensive and they are very nice and pigmented. But since I'm not that into liquid eyeshadow, I feel like it would have to be very special to get me to want to reach for them all the time, and these just didn't do that for me. Another product that ended up not working out that well for me is this right here from Lyse, their Lash Confidence Mascara. And it comes down to one thing and one thing only. This formula is way too watery for my thin lashes. my lashes are very thin. They clump together very, very easily. And so this super watery mascara makes my lashes just stick like glue, okay? It just was a no for me, and I don't think I'll be able to make it work, so I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. I think someone who has thicker lashes would probably like this mascara better, but my thin lashes just stick together with the wet formula. So I'm giving it away. That one wasn't for me. I tried this Merit Beauty bronzer this month in the shade Clay, which is this color right over here, and I liked it okay. It's creamy, it's hydrating, it's got a radiant finish, it blends out very, very easily. However, the shade Clay wasn't necessarily giving me that much color. I like my bronzer to show up a little more. I want to be a bit more sculpted, a bit more defined. In order to make this one work for me, I have to build it up quite a lot. So it's just not my favorite cream bronzer that I have tried. Honestly, I think Merit Beauty thrives at creating very natural looking makeup, and I don't necessarily think I'm a simplistic makeup person. I don't like 3 steps and done. I like my makeup to look perfected, and I like the steps that I'm putting on my face to show up a little bit more than Merit usually does. And so it honestly depends. If you like extremely natural looking makeup, maybe try this one, but it's just not my cup of tea. So I'm not necessarily recommending it. However, I am going to keep it in my collection for reference. And then last but not least, this one is very, very simple. It's just a lip balm from Glow Recipe that I have absolutely, I don't know why I grabbed some because I can't put it on my lips right now, but I have absolutely been loving this one. It's thick, it's juicy, it gives you this very intense glow and crazy moisturization. This is new at Sephora now, I think, and it is the Plump Hyaluronic Gloss Balm from Glow Recipe. I honestly have really been loving this one, and I wanted to let you know. Whew, these videos are always long. I truly thought I didn't have that much to update you on, but they build up, okay? So if you liked today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. Before you leave, let me know if you tried any of these products down below in the comment section and what you think of them. If you're interested in trying any of the products I mentioned, they are all listed and linked down below in the description box, and a lot of them are also listed on the icon right here, so feel free to check that out as well. And that is all I have for today's video. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye bye.